All right, a very beautiful evening, everyone. I'm so glad to have my guest. It's going to be a wonderful time. So we're going to have some very amazing discussions, centering around how to, better the society. And I'm really so glad to have my guest. There's someone that I really cherish, and I was really blown away when I saw the weight of, everything that he's been able to accomplish and that he's accomplishing every now and then. It's beautiful to know that there are people out there that believe in a sane society, and they believe in capacity building, and they believe to giving back to society. So my guest today is Mr. Abdullahi Ningi. Mr. Abdullahi Ningi is an architect turned banker with over 7 years of banking experience, cutting across operations, marketing, cluster engagement, in terms of philanthropy and community development. He's founded, okay. In terms of, sorry for that. In terms of philanthropy and community development, he founded the Maskham Model Ventures in 2022, an NGO that combines both profitability and corporate social responsibility as its objective. In its quest to empower youths with contemporary skills, as well as provide students of public schools with basic educational orientation. His venture under its CSR provides mentoring and career talks. He's a member of 5 professional bodies. He's a researcher. He's a 2025 Tony Elumelu Foundation mentor. He's a 2024 NIM 5th place holder, amongst numerous other accomplishments. It's so nice to have you on the call, Mr. Ningi. Yeah, I think you're muted.
It's also nice to have you.
Yes.
I think first of all, I thank the Almighty God for sparing my life to witness this day.
Yes.
And I think one thing I will appreciate with the Tony Elumelu Foundation program is for exposing me to somebody like you, somebody who is willing to impact and make some positive impact in the society. I think it's one of the major accolades I give to the Tony Elumelu Foundation mentoring program. I cherish that and I appreciate that.
Wow, amazing. I really appreciate that. We're in this job together, there's nothing that, there's nothing I find more rewarding than being able to add to lives. And your story is really quite remarkable because we're in a season in the country where everybody is worried. Everybody's just thinking about what the public sector, in other words, what the government and the public sector could do or can do for us. But there are only very few people that are thinking about what I can do, for Nigerians, in other words, from the private sector. And of course, the topic today is bridging the skill gap in Nigeria. We're looking at how Nigerians can be empowered to develop self-sustaining business. And it was a wonderful time having at the Hiltons where we met during the last Melo Foundation program, the announcement, and you said some things that really blew my mind. And it's tough because what we'll normally find are people that are normally in the public sector and they are just there. But you're in the public sector, but you have a very large heart to develop, students, develop people, give back to society. And so the first question would be, how do you do it? How are you, what is that hunger that makes you not just to stay and get a convenient salary, do your convenient business, but that you have the large mind, to want to give back to society?
Okay, Dr. Charles, thank you for this question. First of all, as a person, I have that solid belief that every personality as an individual entity has a role to play in the overall development of the community. It is very wrong for the normal perception that normally goes that everything is for government. Everything lies on the table of government and government personalities. I don't believe so. I believe everybody at his own particular position, no matter how much you are earning, no matter how much comes to you, no matter how little you make, no matter the little margin you make from your profits, I believe there's an impact you can make. A popular African proverb says, if you think you are too small to make a difference, maybe you've never stayed in a place with a mosquito. Meaning, what does it mean? Never underestimate or underrate yourself as a person, the impact you can make. So I have been having this particular belief for some time now. On one part, I have some of the attributes for some of the things I do. On the other part, I personally believe the society itself cannot grow when everybody is only for himself. Whenever you say whatever I make is for me and my family alone, you are not willing to support anybody, you are not willing to donate to anyone, you are not willing to make some sacrifices, it means we'll continue to move forward. And based on what is happening currently, based on the economy, as well as the physical realities of challenges on ground, we are gradually moving to a position whereby even those that have the money are not safe. To a large extent, we need to make the people around us a little bit comfortable. When they are comfortable, at least they should take care of themselves and their families. And how do we do that? The most important or cardinal point for that is education. Education is the most important impact you can make. Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Meaning, the more you invest in knowledge, it's going to give you a better interest than when you just invest normal money or into other businesses. So I think this is my driving force, and I believe myself, I have interacted with so many people due to some of these strides. I have motivated a lot of people. I have had engagement with so many people, and I have done a lot of reorientation in terms of the way and manner in which people see their own responsibilities as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, amazing. It's so amazing to see your heart, to be able to give back in terms of education. I would like you to tell us one or two success stories so far, because you said some things to me and I was really quite, interested in some of the people that you've been able to, train in some of these soft skills and the rest. And I believe you also, as a mentor in the Tony Olumelu Foundation, you actually have people, that are more like in the very incubation period of the ideas that you're developing. How has it been? What are some few success stories that you've had so far and that makes you really excited to want to do this more and more?
Okay, I think basically the Maskham Model Ventures from inception was concepted from my NYC days. That's back then at Ibadan between 2015 to 2016. So during that time, at the NYC orientation camp, there's this skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development program, SAID, which most core members normally enroll. So based on my background as an architect, or a person who studied architecture, there were so many options at that material time. Okay, can you go into plumbing, or you want to go into bricklaying, or so many other options that are either directly or indirectly related to my own field.
Wow. Are you still there, Mr. Ningi? All right. Okay, we have Mr. Ningi back.
Yes, I'm sorry for that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what it means is, okay, if I go into the same set of value chain, it means I have not diversified in knowledge as a person. So I said, okay, I should go to public speaking. And then it was Mr. Kulle Awotuku who was the public speaking agent at that material time. So we went to the class, and luckily enough, when the session was going on, I intentionally did not speak. So later when it was time, he observed I did not speak throughout the session, and then he pointed at me and said, "You gentlemen, please stand up and say something about your experience or something you want to share with us." And when I stood up to speak, he said, "So you are even a public speaker, you can speak to people. Why have you not been speaking?" I said, I always admire to learn and understand what is going on first before I say my mind. So from then, after that particular moment and then the sessions, I now intentionally, wanted to start a giant project. I said, okay, after NYC, I don't want to work for anybody. I want to be a creator of labor. I want to be an employer of labor. So I initially wanted to now establish Maskham Foundation. So Maskham Foundation, after my whole research, I realized, practically speaking, that most of the foundations we have on ground, at that material time, we're talking of like the likes of Tony Elumelu Foundation, Dangote Foundation, MasterCard Foundation, and many more of them. Most of them came into being after some level of success by the owners or the founders, meaning they have succeeded and then they now want to give back to the community a part or a parcel of what they have earned in their businesses or in their livelihoods. So, but I said, okay, despite knowing this, I said, okay, I want to challenge the norm. I want to challenge the norm. Let me be the first youth that will establish a foundation without becoming successful. So some of the basic things that we wanted to do were some of the things that were later encapsulated into the Maskham Model Ventures. So that was at Ibadan. I did all the homework, the paperwork, the research, the theoretical aspect of all of it. And then later when I come back to Bauchi, where I planned to implement the Maskham Foundation, I realized that the session was completely different. It was a different momentum for the theoretical session as well as the practical session. So then I realized there was a wisdom behind establishing foundations after emerging successful. Meaning at that material time, I could not see I could not succeed on that particular project. So indirectly, I suspended that particular project. Later, after some time, when I started working, I said, okay, now it means from my own earnings, I can make some sacrifices and support the society as well as the community. So meaning the vision I had in respect of the Maskham Foundation has now reinvigorated into my Maskham Model Ventures. And that was why, out of the 3 objectives we have, the first objective is organizing seminars, symposiums, and conferences on topical issues. The second one is business writings. And then the third one is mentoring and career talk. So the first 2 are basically profit-based, while the last one is generally a community social responsibility scheme. So it's free of charge, and then we have done a lot in that regard. So what we normally do in this particular aspect of it is, first of all, we advertise for vacancies within the Maskham Model Ventures. Okay, that we are inviting qualified Nigerians or qualified residents of Bauchi, due to the fact that at this material time, we are just starting. So we have limitations to finances and so on and so forth. So we cannot we don't have the financial buoyancy to capture the expenditure of mobility and so on and so forth. So we now restrict it to only Bauchi Metropolis for now. So what we did is we advertise for vacancies. When we advertise for vacancies, interested graduates will apply. And we democratize that opportunity also in such a way that for education, for the segment of education, anybody with a certificate of NCE and above. For law and others, when you have national diploma, then for others, we have bachelor's degree. So we have professions in which we intend to go and make some impact in the society in the minds of the young graduates, we want to catch them young. That's from senior secondary school. Most of them lack the orientation of, okay, what is so course? I want to study medicine, but I don't know what medicine is even all about. I want to study architecture. What is architecture all about? What course combination, what subject combination do I need to pass, or do I need to pay attention to before I can pass and become a successful architect or a successful banker, and so on. So we wanted to bridge that knowledge gap. So when we invite these mentors, we now organize a physical session for them. Then we invite entrepreneurs to talk to them about entrepreneurship. And then sometimes we talk to them about public speaking, since the beginning of the concept is about public speaking. So we want to make people understand that public speaking is also a skill in which you can use to earn money. So we now talk to people about public speaking, or we give them an avenue to speak in public, at least make them courageous to speak in public. So when we do that, at the end of that day, we host that activity. I sponsor all of those things myself. I will host that activity. After hosting that activity, we share meals and maybe refreshments and so on. Then later, we now fix another date for schools. So we engage public schools to give us a recommendation of students of SS1, for example. So in SS1, there will be a combination of science students, art students, commercial students, you understand, and social science students. So all of this one now, we now put them in class. We want to now put or align that concept of teamwork first. So we mix them in class, because generally they are in different classes. So now we are putting them in one class. So when we put them in one class, we talk to them about all the professions. So out of those, our mentors, we now, based on concept of succession planning, we select some of the mentors and we categorize them into short-term, medium-term, and long-term. And then for short-term, we categorize them into like 4 classes or thereabouts. So we now engage them. And so those people will now be given a little minutes or like 10 minutes or thereabouts to speak to the students, the little ones, on their own career subjects selected. So, and after that, you will find out that there will be questions and answers and so on and so forth. We issue certificates to the students, we snap photographs and so on and so forth. So we've done so far, to answer your question straight away, we've done like 2 public schools so far in Bauchi. We've done Saad Zungo Model Secondary School. We've done Jibril Aminu Model Secondary School. We've done that. I think for Saad Zungo, we captured almost 70 students. So also for Jibril Aminu. And out of these ones, I can proudly say I have a mentee whom I met at Saad Zungo, Abubakar Adamu Ibrahim, who up till today, he is following my footsteps in so many things. Whenever we do other programs, he will follow. I believe he is currently watching this program. So after him, there are also that I have impacted in one way or the other, aside the other ones that we cannot mention. So what I did not say is the mentors are also given a little amount of money. One, we call it transport fee, and then the other one, we call it mentoring or speaking allowance, so that we align the public speaking as well as the little amount we are earning, as well as the what together, so that they will make sense, and then it will motivate people to learn and see public speaking as a skill that you can use to get money.
Wow, man, Mr. Abdullahi, I'm blown away by what you've achieved in just a short period of time. I have been privileged to consult for some NGOs, some foundations, but I can tell you the impact you're making is one that needs to be resounded. And I think this is actually where the public sector, talking about the government and major firms, this is, I'm of the belief that once we find people like you, naturally, it's people like you that the government are supposed to actually support with funds, because you have the heart to want to go there and help people. I tell people that for me now, one of the greatest achievements for me, and not even the ability to speak to maybe banks, speak to multinational companies and co. One of my greatest joy till date were things I did in sometimes a decade ago, 6 years ago. One of my proudest moments was having to reach out to corporates. So I can imagine the feeling you are having, pointing us to say, even the people that you are raising, they are right here we're even watching you. And by the way, if you are just watching this, please, you want to ensure that you are sharing this. One of the questions I also had for you was, in the present Nigerian situation right now, where capacity development is concerned, what is one thing you believe that people need to start giving attention to with regards to people that may have the heart of what you're doing right now, and they look at themselves, they say they don't have the capital to start, or they don't have the connections to start. What is your advice for people like that? People that are trying to wait until they have everything to start?
Okay, I think on one part, you see, it has been one of the challenges for ease of doing business. Access to financing has been one of the challenge for ease of doing business in Nigeria. I think as at the last grading, Nigeria was as at the last ranking, Nigeria was ranked at 131st position out of the 190 by the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index. So, and one of the cardinal things that form part of the components for the ease of doing business access to finance. I agree wholeheartedly that yes, access to finance remains a challenge, especially for people that have challenges other than just starting up a business. However, access to finance on one part is a challenge, but having the vision as well as the passion for the business is also another challenge. You see, based on the available report, at least 50% of MSMEs, normally fail. Based on available reports, 50% of MSMEs normally fail. And then a larger percentage of MSMEs normally fail in their first year of establishment. While some others fail, like 50% fail within the first 1 year. 95% normally fail in their first 5 years. And some of the factors that attribute to some of this is still based on the same report by Money Point, is still a lot of people go into business without passion for it or without any desire to do businesses. You understand? Some people are just going into business because they want to be bosses of themselves without any experience, while others are going into business because they have passion and drive for it. Like, for example, now, the sector I'm talking about of issue of public speaking, talking to making impact in education, this is something I passionately have. With or without money, when you tell me to come and address the class or talk to people or guide them or coach them, as far as it's something I know, I will willingly come and do, whether you give me 1 naira or not, I will do it. And then whenever you talk about anything pertaining to education, how you make impact in education, what do you need to do for education to prosper, I will do it wholeheartedly without you giving me a penny. So you see, passion is a driving force. And people need to understand, you know, Rome was not built in a day. So automatically, we are not going to go on a day. We have to face the way and manner in which we implement our project. That's why in strategic planning, you will have short term, you have medium term, and then you'll have long term. Even within the short term, you can still subcategorize it into maybe classes. Okay, for monitoring and evaluation, I want, okay, from month 0 to month 2, I want to achieve this. From month 3 to month 4, I want to achieve this. From month 5 to month 6, I want to achieve this. You segment your task and then assign a responsibility for yourself. But first thing first, you need to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, I think you will do a lot. And for issue of funding, again, coming straight to your answer, is it depends on the way and manner you want to start up the business. It's generally okay and clear that most financial institutions do not support startups. And I have explained this times without number to so many people. That is because we as bankers, we are given funds to manage. These funds doesn't belong to us. We are issued funds based on trust to manage. So we have to take so much careful measure. So much careful measure in such a way that we'll get value for the funds we are investing or the funds we are granting for facility. Dr. Charles, are you there?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. So meaning we don't
Can
just
you hear
take
me?
the,
Yeah. Okay.
we don't just take the risk of granting facility to startups, because in an event there's a failure, it means the money of customers will also fail. But we now advise them financially as their financial advisors that, okay, you need to put in place A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, you need to put them in place. Then you need to face the way and manner in which you project your business. Recently, there was Taraba Investment Summit that held at Taraba State in Jalingo recently. And the Vice President of the Federal Republic, Senator Kashim Shettima, was appreciating the impact as well as the investment of Aliko Dangote in Nigeria as the richest black man in Africa. So now all of these things did not start in one day. When you ask Alhaji Aliko Dangote how he did or how he survived all the challenges, when you ask Mr. Jim Ovia how he did and how he survived, Mr. Jim Ovia started Zenith Bank, I think, with either 20,000 or 200,000 or thereabout. So when you ask Mr. Tony Elumelu how he started, how he become what he is today, how he's impacting the lives of minimum of 30,000 entrepreneurs across Africa, when they tell you the stories, you will understand that it's a step-by-step, it's a gradual process. So entrepreneurs should not look big first at the beginning. Look small. At least, no matter how little, start something. Start making impact. And you see, one of the major challenges we have with a lot of entrepreneurs is the fact that they are not valuing the profit margin. For example, now as a banker, if you say I will do a transaction and I will earn 2 kobo, for example, I will willingly agree to do that business. But so many other people, when you said, someone will even ask you, how much is the profit? How much profit margin are we making? How much are we going to earn? And immediately you tell him, okay, we're earning 20 naira on this, or we're earning 50 naira on this. You say, no, I cannot have a BSc, or I have a degree, or I have a master's, or I have a PhD, and I will end up earning so amount. He doesn't know that these little kobos now accumulate to become the billions or trillions naira of the day. So we need to start small, but we should have a big vision, a large vision. We should aspire to inculcate one of the 7 leadership lessons of the eagle. That's vision. So we should use that, see the future, plan for the future, and then you move forward.
Amazing, powerful. We are beginning to wrap up. If you're still watching, please, sorry for the little glitches that we have. Please, we want to share this to as many people as possible, because we really need to have this heart, for people around us. Let me ask you a question. In the environment you live in, the within your circle, what value do you give? I'm asking everybody just watching right now. What value do you give back to society? Sometimes it may not even be what Mr. Abdullahi is doing in terms of, the capacity is building. It could be just be one person. You must have at least 1, 2, 3, a few number of people that are directly under your mentorship. The only way you can actually qualify that you're a success is not by how much you spend or how much of things around you, but by what is the value of your life to someone else? What is the value of what you possess to someone else? So I just want that to have to be a food of thought while we begin to wrap up. So one question I have for you, Mr. Ningi, I'm talking about soft skills, education, public speaking, and a number of things. We know that the world right now is moving towards artificial intelligence. And so that now becomes a major frontier for, Africans, and especially we that are within the business mentorship circle or the capacity development circle, how do you intend to incorporate AI into what you're doing presently with regards, your venture and the everything you do so far?
Okay, Dr. Charles, thank you very much. I think even before the general acceptability of AI within the technology space, we've inculcated technology in most of the things we do. Like most recently, we published advertisements for vacancies. It's just a survey hat application link that somebody will go online and fill. And even before then, when we did most of our mentoring sessions, we do like a short test. We do short test online. So we encourage, part of the requirements we need for somebody to be a mentor is for you to have an Android or an iOS phone, because most of the things we gradually reduced the much paperwork we were using at some point. Like in 2020, we did career talk. In 2021, we also did career talk. But the number of paper or the sheets of paper we used in 2021 were more or less compared to what we did in 2020. So as at 2021, we made a lot of things electronic. So most of the beneficiaries, which I believe a lot of them are also listening to us, most of the beneficiaries of that program subscribed and then participated, and then they did survey and rated us and so on and so forth electronically. So aside that, it's just the challenge we have and the fact that we don't have much funds. But assuming wishes were horses, even the students we engage with, will find a way of inculcating AI. And you will also find out that in 2025, part of the courses we earmark for mentoring, there is artificial intelligence as a subject of its own. Because we understand we want to make contemporary impact to the society. We want even the young ones from their young age to understand that there's something, a new trend, a new technology called artificial intelligence, because a lot of them doesn't even know. So we want them to know that. So assuming wishes were horses, and assuming we have the funds and the financial backing, we'll make a way, we'll make sure that they will have a feeling of what artificial intelligence is all about. We'll intentionally just get a recommendation for their names. In fact, we can even make it in such a way that it will be like an inter-school session. Maybe we have 5 schools within Bauchi Metropolis. We say, okay, each government school should just get us a recommendation of 10 students only. So those 5 schools will give us a recommendation of 50 students. And then we put them in class, and then we put them in a hall different from their comfort zone, so that will give them more impact. Because part of the 7 leadership lessons of an eagle is you need to leave your comfort zone to learn more and to understand and comprehend more. So we'll take them out of their comfort zone, we take them somewhere else completely different from their zone, and then we give them a feeling of what artificial intelligence is all about. And then maybe we even create sessions where we'll get experts to talk to them about artificial intelligence, practical and theoretical knowledge, so that they will understand and have a feeling. But gradually, based on what we have started marketing, artificial intelligence, gradually we have the vision, and then gradually, as time goes on, inshallah, we are going to get there.
Amazing. Well, one of the things I want to tell you, Mr. Abdullahi, sometimes wishes can actually become horses, because I believe that this actually goes very far. And why I say that is that the beautiful thing about educational resources like this, that you never know where it's going to land and who's going to listen. And so I myself will also be very available, we've talked about this, so I'm going to be very available when it comes to the area of the tech and AI as well. Just wanting you to know that I believe that someone somewhere listening to this that has been moved by things you're saying would also want to contribute one way or the other. Well, it's really truly have been an amazing time out with Mr. Abdullahi Ningi. I'm going to have Mr. Abdullahi just say his last words, just to encourage somebody in the audience, because somebody is listening right now. They are either in both of they are either in one of the divide. Some people are in the divide of they want to be built capacity wise to be able to do what you're doing. Some other people right now are saying the economy is tough. Where do we start? So I would like you to give just some tips, on somebody listening right now and they are looking for their next breakthrough. They are looking for their next edge. Some have been unemployed. Some has been suffering in terms of their business not growing. What are just one, two, three things that you think the average Nigerian right now should be able to hold very, very seriously with regards personal development and financial development?
Okay, I think these ones I have it in an acronym: POST, POST, PEST, PEST, post, pest, seed.
Okay.
So for post, the first thing you need for business development or business establishment is passion. That's the first P. The second one, O, that's post. You need to overcome fear. So many people have money lying, and so many people have money and they want to invest, or they want to make impact, or they want to start businesses, but they have that fear of they don't want to take risk. And there's a maxim in management which says the higher the risk, the higher the return. So you need to take risk before you can get some return on investment. So you need to overcome fear. Then the S for the post is skill. You need to get the basic skills. Whether it is public speaking, whether it is another skill, you need to get a skill. Distinguish yourself with something different. Don't see it as something small, no matter how little it is. No matter how little that skill is, it's going to add value, and it's going to be monetized, and it will be given value. Then the T is team. Whenever you are, wherever you have an idea, get a team of people that will motivate you. People that are optimistic, not pessimists. Always get people that will tell you, okay, this thing is possible. This thing is achievable. This thing is feasible. Don't surround yourself with people that are always negative-minded. People that will only say this thing may not work. Assuming I have listened to people from the beginning of Maskham Foundation to now Maskham Model Ventures, I may not have been where I am today. So many people will say it won't work. It won't survive. You cannot do it. But I still stood my ground. I remain consistent. So you need to have a team of people, whether they are within your environment or due to now technology, wherever they are, they should motivate you and tell you what to do. Then the next P, these are the first P, post, P-O-S-T. Then we have P-E-S-T. The other P is for planning. You need to plan it from the beginning to the end. You see, when you asked me a question on artificial intelligence, I already told you I anticipated the coming of technology even before now. So we've started inculcating technology into the way and manner in which we operate. So, and now for 2025, we have captured artificial intelligence as a subject of its own. And then gradually we are planning that one day, one time, we are going to give a feeling to those students that artificial intelligence is real. Then education, this is where we come. Education is one of the major challenges we have. There's a difference between you have a certificate and you are educated. There are two different things. When you have a certificate, it means maybe you cannot even use the knowledge you have or what you have earned or what is written or crested on the certificate. So you should have quality education. You should make researches. Don't limit yourself to what you are taught in class or where you see lectures. You participate in programs like this. I can comfortably say I have a clique of friends that immediately I shared this to them. One of them, Farida Aminu Bello, she went clearly to your site to find out who you are, what impact have you made, how and what you have done. He made some research on you, who you are. You understand? So when you ask her about who is Dr. Charles, she can comfortably make a presentation on who Dr. Charles is. You understand? So you have the education, you use the education. Then successioning is the S. Successioning. You plan successioning, meaning in two ways. One, in the teaming. Don't just be, we should not wish to experience a key man risk in the business, where whenever you die or when you pass on, the business is dead. So many businesses are experiencing this. So try to do successioning in the sense that you are gradually building somebody to take over from you, or you are gradually building somebody to assist you, whether you are available or not. Then there's another successioning in the sense that in terms of any emergency, you have a backup. You have a backup. In terms of any emergency, whether it is your data, whether it is your information or your details, you have a backup. So you should have that in mind in successioning. Then T is technology. There's no way you will do business in modern Nigeria today without imbibing technology. As research comfortably suggests, a survey by Money Point suggests that 64% of MSMEs, they use social media. Social media is a product of technology. If you are not conversant with technology, you cannot use social media. So you need to use technology in all ramifications to make impact. Sell your business. Tell people about you. Tell people about what you do and how you do it, and so on and so forth. Then for the seed, you do supervision. So many people are just into business, and it's also a cost on why a lot of businesses are failing. You just start a business, there's no supervision. You don't supervise, you don't check the ledgers, you don't check the books, you don't check anything. You just leave it like that. No supervision. You just want at the end of the day to tell you that I have had a profit. And when they said there's no profit, you say somebody has cheated me. No, maybe you've cheated yourself, or maybe you've not done enough. So supervision is very important. Then we have experience. Experience is very important. You see, from the beginning, I said, when I had the theoretical knowledge, or when I was planning to have a foundation, I was confident that I could start a foundation at that age. But later, I now understood on practical grounds that I cannot start a foundation at that age. I need to be financially buoyant before I can start a foundation. So what gave me that experience? Now, gradually, when I start the business, or when I started the business, at least based on the experience I've had in banking, banking is one cosmopolitan terrain and environment that gives you a full knowledge of what to do, how to do, where to do, and how to do it. And I must give credit to my team lead, Rabiat Akinwale. She is one good expert and a team leader that will coach you and guide you and tell you what to do and how to do it. So now, when you get banking, when you do banking, it will give you a clear picture on the financing, the finances, the way you'll manage resources, and so on and so forth. So then exposure, you need exposure. Is the E before the D? Is the exposure. So when you need, what do we mean by exposure? Travel a lot, move around, engage with people, talk to people, move to places. You understand? When you stay far away, like when I served in Ibadan, there were so many people that never came to the north. They don't even know the north. They don't know the terrain. Some people, the highest place they came was Abuja, and it was their flight. So when you are telling them the land mass or the land area of a place, they may just doubt. You understand? Like here in my state, from a local government to a local government, you can spend 6 hours traveling from one local government to another. So it means when you understand some of these things, when you are exposed, you will do things better. All of these things are just guides to how you will do things better. Then the last one is delegation. The D is delegation. Always understand when you are able to delegate. Some things you must not do them yourself. A lot of things you can delegate. When you have the good team, when you have the succession planning, like I have a very good team. For example, now I have a very good team of management members. for the Maskham Model Ventures. I have my wife, Hajar Mohammed Tata. She's a member of the management. I have Musa Garba. He's a member of the management. I have Mariam Azekume. She's a member of the management. I have Farida Aminu Bello. They are members of management. So all of these people are members of management, and in one way or the other, they have the knowledge, the expertise to do most of the tasks we do. And sometimes when we do programs, I used to interchange the roles. I will give this role to the next person. I will switch the roles to the other person so that everyone will have an experience of what it is to be on this particular role.
Wow.
So in an event of any issue, we have somebody to fill in immediately, succession planning. So I think I wish most entrepreneurs all the best. Like I said, Dr. Charles, I thank you most sincerely. I believe this is a privilege, a rare opportunity, because I am not more intelligent than so many others. I'm not more versatile than so many others. It's just a will of God that we met. Much credit to Dr. Tony Elumelu and his wife for initiating the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and then for giving us the opportunity to meet somebody like you. I commend you for all you have been doing, and I wish you all the best. And I believe Nigeria has so much hope with the likes of Dr. Charles. Thank you.
Wow, Mr. Abdullahi, truth be told, growing up, we looked at cartoons. We knew about for people that are actually old enough, we knew about the Voltrons, VR Troopers, Superman, Spider-Man, and co. Let me leave that to the West. But for as far as Africa and Nigeria is concerned, I really want to say that you are one true hero that we are truly proud to have. A hero is not someone that is necessarily comfortable where they are, but a hero is someone that, despite the fact that there's so many things that they dream about personally, they're able to give back to society. And I really want to thank you on behalf of everyone, that is in the field out there trying to make lives better. I really want to appreciate you for the amazing things you do. Well, if you've been a guest, this has been Business Conversation with Charles, and my guest has been Mr. Abdullahi Ningi, a very phenomenal world changer that Nigeria and Africa is proud to have. I would not be surprised if some very few months from now, some years from now, we actually find someone like Mr. Ningi, within the public sector, being able to allow this to have a spread to millions of youth. As you already know, Nigeria is actually made up of more youths than majority of other places, countries, and even the African continent as a whole. So we're really proud of someone out there doing so much. Forget about the noise about what is happening. He's still impacting lives. I know when I had points like succession planning, my God, I was blown away because this is what true leadership is about, when it grows beyond yourself. And so, Mr. Ningi, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you. If you've been on the call and you've really enjoyed, I wish we had time for questions. But you can always do that on the same link you are following. If you have questions, you can just put in your questions, and I can promise you will get it across to Mr. Ningi and you will get your answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing time with Mr. Abdullahi Ningi. Next week, we are going to be having someone all the way from Austria, an amazing leader. As far as I'm concerned, that's one of the best persons in the world that I know. He's had an extensive record that you don't want to miss. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch out. We're going to have someone all the way from Austria. Mr. Ningi, thank you so much again. And I want to say thank you for everyone that hooked up. Either you are watching live or you're watching the repeat version on YouTube or on any of the social media platforms. Please, let's stay hooked up and add more value to our country. We don't have any other country. This is our country. So thank you very much. Mr. Abdullahi, thank you. We'll see you on the other side. All right, my guests, this is Charles Robosili. Do have a lovely day. Awesome. Bye, everyone.